Okay. Hey guys. Obviously you can see that this is my first call, so please be nice. um, if I get nervous, I'll probably start talking too fast, so just let me know if I need to slow down or explain anything a little bit further. So yeah, I'm a diamond coach, Project Fearless, obviously, like the rest of us. So here we go. This is basically just a bunch of random things that I've realized are super helpful and effective for me on running my business and just making sure I have everything in the right place at the right time. So the first one, getting on calls and attending events. So way to go for getting on the call. Really, there's no point in missing them. They're half an hour. I know for some people they're a little bit late, but it's honestly way different being a part of the call and listening to the recording, and how many people actually are going to listen to the recording. And you just really never know what pieces you're going to pick up or what sort of bond that you form with other people during the calls. Like, I know that I've connected with so many other people like Meg and Katie, and I've messaged them after and be like, thank you, that really changed my business. And it could be something super, super small. And then attending events, like, I mean, why would you miss them? I mean, I remember at first they were a little bit awkward and I felt a little bit out of place, but at this point I've just really gotten involved and I've been a part of calls and I've built cyber relationships with these people on our team, and then you meet them and you're like, oh my God, you're a real person, and it's really exciting. Lindsay, for example, I met at Summit. She was like a random roommate that needed a place to go at Summit, and now we're really good friends. And I was talking to her 20 minutes ago and 2 hours ago, and I was freaking out about doing this call. It's crazy how you just become friends with all of these people, and they really do become significant parts of your life. So just get there. I think it also makes you feel a little bit more accountable for your business if you know you have other people relying on you for things, or just that you get to see them. The next one is routines, and finding things that make it easier and faster and better for you. So routines is important. I know people talk about finding a schedule and scheduling your office hours, and that at times has been difficult with my schedule changing. I mean, I'm literally at work at a group home right now. But you got to just figure out what works best for you. So at my best, I was waking up at like 6, working out, I would just get water, go sit on my couch, set a timer for 15 minutes, and I would read. I wouldn't look at my phone. I wouldn't have the TV on. I didn't do anything else. I just focused on whatever book I was reading. And then I would sometimes start a power hour, or depending on how late I woke up, just shower, go to work. I had 30 minutes where I would pump out half a power hour out on my lunch break at work. And then I do the rest after work if I had anything left over. That was definitely my best month yet, and that's what I've actually started doing the last week or so, just trying to get myself back on track. I know it will work for me, and it has worked for me in the past. I'm just going to continue that. And then the easier the better. I've noticed recently that my Evernote has like copied and pasted things that Jones helped me with and responses, and I have a couple untitled notepads in there that are just random responses, but they're effective and they keep coming up, so they're working and they're worth it to save. I have the Evernote. Yeah, get Evernote. That was the first point. Yeah, I think that's it for that. And then reaching out because you care. So this is really funny, but sometimes I'm just like scared to be like, you want to join my challenge group? Woohoo, what are you doing? And instead I'll just look at their Facebook and be like, what have they been up to? And I'll stalk them a little bit. And I'll just pick a couple people a week and I'll just comment and I'll like things, and then I'll message them about it. Like, oh, your kid's so cute, or oh, how was your kid's birthday party? And maybe at the time it's not like the biggest thing that matters to me, but that might be something that changes someone's day. And I've had a couple people just recently reach out to me. One girl I've talked to for 2 months, and about random things going on in her life, her job, her new house she bought. And she messaged me last week and was like, I just weighed myself. I'm 203 pounds and uncomfortable. I need to lose 60 pounds. Like, will you help me? And that's insane that we never once talked about Beachbody. She never commented about my videos, never commented about any pictures or challenge groups, but she knew who I was and knew what I did. And she felt comfortable enough to share that with me. And another person, Jamie, I talked to her probably for 7 months. And a handful of times we talked about Beachbody, and other times I'd ask her about her daughter and her wedding and her job and random things. And one night she messaged me and she was like, me and my husband are ready to get started. And she was an Emerald coach in like 2 days. Yeah, so I mean, stalk people nicely. And some people are just ready when they're ready. My friend Jenny ordered through me right when I first started. She was one of the people that helped me go Emerald, and she returned her challenge back. And she's one of my best friends, and she just wasn't ready for it. And a couple weeks ago, she messaged me too, and it's just like, I'm ready. Like, let's do this. I've got weight to lose. I've got goals to reach, and she's doing it. And she's been really, really successful at size the past couple weeks. Building your brand. If anyone is friends with me on Facebook, they know that I post these ridiculous videos almost every day. This was a size video, which is seriously embarrassing, and I can't dance, but people are at the point where they're expecting these things from me, so I'm doing them. If I don't post a video, someone asks me if I worked out. Like, random people text me or message me and just be like, have you worked out today? I didn't see a video. For a while, I mean, this whole thing started because I needed to try something new. I needed to add something to my brand. I didn't feel like I had enough to share. So I started the move of the day with the 21-day fix, and every day I would post just one move from the program, and I mean, people like ate it up. People love it. I mean, 15 to 20 likes every time, a couple people commenting. It's a super, super easy way to reach out to people and have the Beachbody conversation almost immediately. The other thing about this is don't overdo it. I cannot keep up with the move of the day. I'm not always doing the 21-day fix. For a while I was training for the beach to weekend, so I was running more than I was doing the workout, and I didn't have it every time. So now I'm just trying to stick to 3 to 4 days a week of doing a move or doing a size video or anything. I mean, even today I got out of work and my boyfriend was like, I thought you were going to work out before work so we could have some time together before you go to overnight. And I was like, I did work out. He was like, well, you didn't post about it. Like, that's how ridiculous it's gotten. But yeah, so be confident in your brand. People notice things. People just pick up on it. People love those freaking videos. And I mean, this is my cover photo. It talks about my brand. I mean, Transformers I don't highlight nearly as much as I probably should, but there's Brett. There's this quote that kind of goes along with my goal setting for this year. There's my profile picture is a picture of my face. There's a picture of me with my guns and then my cat. Those are all things that are part of my brand. Personal development, I mean, literally everybody talks about personal development. We're always like, do it, do it, do it, do it. But I think just like that first step of ordering the book seems like super intense, like you're actually going to commit to it, but it really changes your life in a good way. It's really, really worth it. I actually started with Gabby. Everybody was Gabby. So I was like, all right, I'm going to jump on board and I'm going to do it too. And I got add more into your life, and it was painful for me. Like, I was not ready to be that emotional and not ready to deal with a lot of the issues that I had going on, and I didn't even make it through like 2 chapters and I had to put it down. So just turn to something else. Like, it's okay if you can't connect with Gabby right off. I went to the compound effect. It really helped me with my business. That's when I was in that routine and I was doing those same things every day at the same time every day. The other thing that I held off at first was audiobooks. I know everybody's like, it's really easy. 30 minutes, you're on your commute, just do it. I mean, if you have that commute, seriously do it. But I have a 5-minute commute to work. So I'm like, what am I gonna get out of that 5 minutes? So I just started downloading an audiobook and I plug it in and I will put my like workout armband on and I'll listen to it when I'm running, and I'll listen to it when I'm cleaning the house or when I'm cooking or really doing anything. Sometimes if I'm in the car for a long time, sometimes I'll listen to it at work when I'm just typing about. But I've had Beachbody success, but I've also had a lot of success at my day job. When I was reading the 10X rule, when I was listening to the 10X rule, I brought in over $13,000 worth of sales for my company in 1 week, which is like insane for my job. My bosses still are praising me. Like, my work ethic has improved. I'm happier. I'm constantly getting support from my bosses. And at one point, it was at like a 6-month review, which we don't really have at work. And they gave me a thank you card and a $350 gift card to Dick's, like for doing my job basically. But just because of all of these books and really focusing on personal development, I was able to kind of bring that about around my whole life and work. Posting. Probably should have put this one near the building your brand, but sometimes I know when people are like, they got this really great hook and they're trying to find a jab to put before that so you can get your high in the edge rank. Silly questions. People love silly questions. Like, everybody wants to share their opinion. It's become really easy to do that for me at this point. Like, I posted about blending my Shakeology, so I got my Shakeology out there in this job, but then like 13 people liked it and like 16 people commented on whether it was okay for me to use my blender at 8 o'clock in the morning. Like, people just want to share their opinions, and it's totally fine with me. Every time I go to the hair salon, I post something. Most of the time it gets a significant amount of likes and comments. Like this one I did just last week, and I said, what shall I do now? And I've basically been fake threatening that I was going to cut my hair off, and all I did was get my eyebrows waxed. But I never wrote back to anyone and was like, oh, just kidding, I just got my eyebrows waxed. And like 10 people messaged me and was like, I hope you didn't cut your hair. It's something so silly, but it's like now become this story of every time I go to the hair salon. It's just a super easy post. Deleting posts, I know everybody has kind of mentioned that before. What you should really do is just find out how many people in general normally like your jabs, and if you're less than that, like 13 for this blending post, 13 is kind of low for me, but where there are so many people commenting on it and people kept talking and kept responding to me, and then people were messaging me about it was so okay for me to blend that, I left it there. But I mean, normally if I had something that had 4 to 10 likes in the first hour, I would probably delete it. Some things just need to be reworked, a picture needs to be retaken, or it's just not a good time. So don't feel bad about having to delete it. Another thing that's come up recently is, for a while I was in this really weird slump, and like I had like no likes at all. And I asked Joan, my coach, about it, and she looked through my Facebook, and I just remember her being like, none of these are your face. And sure enough, these have my face on them, and everybody wants to talk about it. People give me crap sometimes because I have selfie after selfie after selfie, but people like it. Like, they want to see you, they want to see what you're doing. They don't want to see a picture of your shoes or a picture of my blender. They want to see a picture of my face and me trying to use a blender. All right. Setting goals. So I'm not one to make a vision board or a goal board or whatever you want to call it. I actually used to make fun of my older sister for doing things like these. And then it was basically like a requirement coming into 2015 for our team. And it was just like, do it. And I did it on the very last night. And I cut up every Cosmo magazine I owned. And I had to print out pictures of Shailene. But I honestly cannot believe the things that I have done this year because I put them out there and I told everybody I was going to do it. I shared this board. I specifically said the things I wanted to do. 5K in 25 minutes. Done. 10K. I just ran the Beach to Beacon a couple weeks ago. And people really cared about that. Like, people were so happy. 137 likes. Well, more than that. I've never had that many likes on something. And it was just for reaching a goal. I mean, that's insane. That's insane. Goal setting for your business. If you're trying to reach diamond by a certain point, reverse engineer with your coach. Like, you can go backwards and say, you want to be diamond by this date. Okay, well, how many people do you need per week to get there? And you just go backwards. And you can even break it down to how many people do you need to reach out to every day to get that weekly goal. I mean, reach out to your upline and your coaches for that. That's not something I could do at all by myself, especially when I'm just getting started. But again, like, don't make, I mean, you can make them unrealistic. I thought that 5K goal was unrealistic, but I did it. I mean, some of the things on here I still have to work on, but everybody knows about them. Everybody knows I've really been focusing on being positive, and people comment on my posts about those things. Oh, I went really fast. Sorry, guys. Yeah, does anyone have any questions? Thank you. I'm sorry that was so fast. I hope that made sense.
I thought that was great. Thank you. One of the things I just wanted to reiterate is, you know, when Hannah was talking about how she's had people that, you know, maybe she started talking to 7 months ago, or maybe, you know, that she's just been talking to about regular things, but then she's branded herself well enough that people have actually come back and reached out to her. You know, we talk about that all the time, and we talk about that all the time because it's so true. I don't know if any of you saw the post that Ryan put up tonight, but it talked about it as well. And the only difference between somebody who succeeds in this business and somebody who doesn't is the person who succeeds in this business didn't quit. That's it. It's a foolproof plan. If you're doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, you will succeed, and these people will come to you. But had Hannah quit like 2 months ago going, it doesn't work, you know what I mean? This person who she talked to 7 months ago wouldn't have had Hannah to reach out to. And then on top of that would have been like, well, I guess it doesn't work because she quit, you know? So these people are watching you. And whether they're telling you that they're watching you or not, they are. Whether they're saying, actually, like, I stalk your page every single day to see if you worked out or not, they might not. You know, but that second that you start a conversation with them, it could be the first conversation you've ever had. All of a sudden they're like, yeah, I have been thinking about joining one of your groups. Or, yeah, I have noticed that you worked out and I've been really thinking about how I need to get back on track. So, you know, people aren't always coming to you and willing to be like, hey, you know, I want to work out with you, or I want to coach. But if you're doing it consistently and you're putting in that effort as a coach to do those daily behaviors of reaching out every single day to different people, then you're going to come across people who know about it, and you're going to build those relationships that turn into a coach later on. And you're going to have people that quit and then come back. I have so many people who have done that. You know, I have at least 3 people who are active coaches right now who have done that. I have another coach that's signing back up in October who quit. And she's like, I quit too early. You know, like, I didn't even give it a chance. I should have done this, this, and that. So the only difference is that the people who don't succeed in this business are the people who quit. So be here a year from now, be here 5 years from now, and I promise you that your life will look completely freaking different. But you just have to put in those daily steps. And then another thing I wanted to talk about too is, you know, Hannah told me and shared with me before this that just, you know, so many things that have been said to her, you know, she won't do, or she'll do the opposite. And then she'll be like, oh,
Yeah, like if you just forget to do your power hour for a week and then you're like, oh shit, it's the end of the month and I haven't talked to anyone and no one's talking to me and Joan said this was going to happen and now it's happening and now what do I do? It's probably happened to me like 5 times recently where I keep being like, Joan said that was going to happen and it happened. Or other coaches have been like, if you don't do that consistently, this is probably going to happen to you, and it's happened.
And I'm not psychic. It's just that is the way the business works. So.
Yeah. I actually finished listening to Failing Forward this morning.
John Maxwell.
And he was talking about how there's 2 different types of learning, which I thought was interesting. And one was through your own personal experience. The other one was through wisdom. And it was finding people like you who've already experienced it and to just really take their mistakes as your own and to learn from them and not make them again.
Such a good.
Like doing your power every day stuff.
That's an awesome point.
That's why personal development is so critical, is that you can learn from all of these people that have spent hundreds and thousands of hours failing at things, and then put them in a summarized, concise book that give you an action plan of success so that you can avoid those failures. You'll make your own, but then you'll learn from them.
Yeah. So awesome call.
Good job, Hannah.
Thank you. Wasn't quite as scary as you thought, right?
You
like
did great.
As soon as you get
It
going.
was a little scary. I'm sweating.
Well, the thing also I love too is that everybody should put that on their calendar. Everybody should put down like by their diamond date, like, you know, I'm going to do a team call on whatever date. And the reason being is because it really makes you grow as a leader to do a call. You start thinking of it from the standpoint of like, what can I do? What can I provide them with that's going to help them on their journey with their business, help them succeed. And also I think it's a nice way to reflect and be like, holy crap, I know a lot, you know, like I have learned a lot. Like when you said that, Hannah, about you never posted pictures of your face, like I totally forgot that you used to do that until you said that.
Conversation
and then I was like, oh yeah, remember the stupid flannel picture? And like I literally looked at Ryan and said that because
Yeah.
you post so differently now. I don't even remember that, Hannah. Yeah. So you've changed so much and you know so much. And you have that ability to give something to somebody. Like you said earlier when you heard Katie or when you heard Meg talk, and it was just that tiny little thing that changed something for you. Everybody on this call has that ability to do that for somebody else. You know, when it comes from, like I can say something and Ryan can say something and it's the same exact thing, but like if you're my coach and, you know, Ryan said it, since he's not your coach, all of a sudden it's like, oh, so smart, you know, but like your coach tells you and you're like, yeah, whatever. So it is, you can't be a prophet in your own kingdom. Is that what it is? That's what Reed says. So,
well, not to mention, I was going to just say one of the 3 vital behaviors is be proof the product works. Not only proof for yourself that you did the program, lost the weight, got healthier, and changed your life, but also proof to everybody out there that is looking to you to possibly inspire them or potentially ask you to help them because you were able to do it yourself. So it works both ways. The proof works twice.
Yeah.
2 proofs.
So, anywho, and for if there's any new coaches on this call, I can't see you guys right now, so I don't know. But if there are any new coaches on this call, just know that like the first 3 months you're in this business, it's totally overwhelming. You don't know anything. And there's a big learning curve. And I remember actually looking back at Chris at some point and being like, wow, I've learned so much. Like I know so much now about this business. I mean, at first I was asking him a question like, you know, every 20 minutes. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, I know this stuff. So put that in your calendar that you're going to do a team call when you go diamond. Put your diamond date down. Tell your coach. And when you do your call, you're going to be scared like Hannah, but when it's all over, you're going to be like, oh, I could do that again. And next time I want to do it on this, or next time I want to do this, or next time I want to. And then you get so good at it that you start running your own team calls. And, you know, you become leader of empire. So, all right. Love you all. Hope you have a great night. Thank you, Hannah. I'm going to upload this to YouTube and I'll try posting it whenever it is. Sometimes it takes a while. Sometimes it's quick.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Good night. Thank you.